Good afternoon, everybody. It's a dog back in his familiar chair. It's the 3 o'clock edition of Weber This Week. Good afternoon, everybody. We're broadcasting live from our FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls. Today, we look at the sectional championships across the network, across the various regions. Jimmy Senecrobi's been on top of this like nobody else can. He updates it every single day, and he'll tell us what he thinks is going to happen. Most of our area teams are still in the hunt for a Section 5 championship, but it's good to be back in the chair. And just before we move on and talk to Jim about the brackets and how he sees this all unfolding, we're doing a lot of coverage here. Jim did a lot of coverage with our team this past weekend. We had radio broadcasts, we had video, we had all kinds of stuff working. So Jim's doing the best he can with our team to bring you as much coverage as possible. But you know, next week, just for an idea, next week we have the embattled Greg Lazaro coming to town. Greg, of course, a town supervisor for the Board of Supervisors, as well as he is the head man at the Seneca Falls Town Board. Of course, the controversy of Local Law 3 may be wiped out, as now I understand they voted the other night to get rid of Local Law 3 and institute Local Law 2. Not sure what Local Law 2 is, but it's more in the negotiating stage versus the litigation stage, as you all know, unless you came under a rock. The SMI folks have filed a Petition 78 against the town for not being treated fairly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Greg Lazaro will be my guest next Monday. And then on the 13th of March, Jeff Babinski, the Executive Vice President and General Manager, Chris Paluto, also the Senior Vice President of Hospitality, will come in together. We'll do a show with them on the 13th. And how can we go a month without having the sweetheart Katie McIntyre comes in and talk about her big races coming up. And I can't wait to hear what she's got to say about, because she's running about every morning at 4:30 in the morning.
She's got the Boston Marathon.
And
then she's got the Right to Run here in Seneca Falls. So two races, really.
And she's up every morning at 4:30. Checking out the body, man, running down the streets.
But at that point, I've been asleep for 2 hours.
I believe that. Well, Jim, you've certainly been on top of the sectional coverage like nobody else, and the team has done a marvelous job. I know you're proud of our team, and why don't you flash up some information for us and give us your views on where you think the brackets are taking us?
Well, first of all, it's exhausting, really. But the great thing is that when it gets busiest at this time of year with sectionals, I mean, it's really kind of overwhelming. Thankfully, we have such a big team of guys that help us cover all the games and just the full coverage of it all. But the games now are very important. You know, the regular season games are one thing, but now you win, you go on, you lose, you go home.
Exactly. One and done.
And the seniors are done. You know, their careers are over. So there's a lot of high drama, a lot of good storylines, and it makes it fun calling these games. So tonight, in about, right after the show, we're heading up to Bloomfield. Myself and Kevin Korzeniewski are calling the Class C2 semifinals between Lions and Geneseo, and the second game's ER against Cal Mum. And 2 years ago, Kevin and I called this Class C3. I can't remember what class, but one of the C classes semifinals from Bloomfield, and they were just two fabulous games. An undefeated Naples team lost their first loss of the season and ended their season. And Lions, with Damon Hunter and company, Chris P.A. and that great team won en route to the sectional finals and then en route to the state Final Four. So I told Corsi, hopefully tonight will be deja vu.
Exactly.
Because that was such a good night a couple of years ago. And then tomorrow night, we're not sure what we're going to be doing, if anything. We're trying to maybe get up and cover the Wayne boys. I know the Minders girls are playing at Huntingway Falls Lima. But I personally won't be involved that night. Need a break between nights, because on Wednesday night, I'm calling the Class B semifinals in Victor, which is Minders against Early College and Newark against Livonia. And so obviously we've been anticipating that all year long. We know that those semifinals were going to be in Victor for a few months now, and fortunately enough, we got Minders and Newark on opposite side of the brackets going to be there. And then on Friday night is going to be a Class C championship night at Rush Henrietta, and that's potentially 3 games involving Wayne Finger Lakes teams. If Lions or ER or both of them win, they would advance. And then in C1, Gananda is playing Virtus tonight, and so if they win that game, they'd advance to the finals. And then Clyde Savannah, who we haven't seen yet in the postseason, is expected to advance to the championship game, and that'll be a triple header. And then, if that's not enough, Saturday at Rush Henrietta, almost all the girls' finals classes A, B, and C, not D, because the Romulus girls are in D2, but they'll be at Letchworth if they advance. We'll be at Rush Henrietta, and there'll be championship games all day long. So you're talking about South Seneca probably.
Yep.
Hopefully Minders if they win Tuesday night. Gananda and Red Creek play in C1 girls semifinals, and so one of those teams will advance, and so we'll cover that game as well. And then Monday night, Blue Cross Arena, the Class B finals, which we're really pulling for Minders versus Newark.
Sure.
I think Newark's going to handle Livonia on Wednesday night, but you never know. Minders early college, though, come on. Hopefully Minders wins that, because if we could get Minders Newark in the Blue Cross Arena.
Phenomenal.
After last year having Newark Palmac in the Blue Cross Arena for a final, I mean, those are the dream scenarios. So that's as far off into the future as we're looking, because after that it goes to state playing games, and then the Buffalo Far West regionals, and who knows, not Glens Falls this year, though.
Right.
Binghamton will be where the boys go. The girls will still be going to Hudson Valley for the state tournament.
Man, it's a lot of coverage, and it is hectic time. It's you're working every night. I remember fond memories of doing that when I was at the Goulds. We used to get home early, jump in the car, and head to the Blue Cross Arena and do a lot of games. And
well, it's fun. The other thing that's fun, and I'm sure you'll remember it too, is these are games that a lot of people care about. So even though Section 5 doesn't allow us to do the full video like we do during the regular season, which is just an audio stream, but people are hanging on your every word because they have a rooting interest. They care, and they're listening also from across the country. So listenership is through the roof for these games for us the later into the postseason we go. And I remember calling the state semifinal game that Lions played against, might have been, who was it? Watervliet. And we called that game from Glens Falls, myself, Matt Berkey, and Rhett Taccone. And Glens Falls is 4 hours away, so a lot of people don't make the trip. They're listening to us instead. But the Lions Central School District, the game I think was on a Friday late afternoon, and they pumped it through the PA system in the whole school at Lions.
Wow.
So people care,
yeah,
and that makes it more fun as a broadcaster. That it's always fun when you know people are listening.
It is amazing, I agree, and there's nothing quite like sectionals. And as you know, it's one and done, unfortunately. And you bring your best to the court, and if you're on, you're going to win. If you're a better team, better seeded team, you should advance, but doesn't mean you're going to advance, because upsets do happen. I think, and Jim had just painted a picture of what we're planning on doing here at Finger Lakes 1. And you're not going to get any better coverage. Him and the team will be all across the region doing as many games as possible. And that's just the way it is here. And Jim will continue to do an outstanding job as we wrap up another year. And what's beautiful for me, as I try to follow it as much as I can, is the fact that our area teams are in the hunt. Our area teams are right there, and that's great. So
it always works out that way. You're always going to find a couple of the top teams from Wayne County. Somebody's going to be in that sectional final. More often than not, you're going to get one or two sectional champs from the Wayne County League. And then the Finger Lakes East, even though they're bigger schools, Newark used to be in Class A2. Now they're in B. Makes it a little bit easier. But Wayne's still alive in Class A2. Minders and Newark alive in B. So from the Wayne, the entire Finger Lakes West league's eliminated. But every year you're going to get 1, 2, maybe 3 from the boys' side sectional champs, and from the girls' side you're going to get a Minders or a Newark or a Geneva or a Wayne and a South Seneca and Romulus. So across all the classes. So it really is impressive. When you give how big Section 5 is, how well historically the Wayne Finger Lakes teams do in the postseason.
What I'm amazed by, and of course, we had Damon Nicholson on when they won the championship a couple years ago on the show, brought a couple of his players in. And I know this is Dave Barnett country talking about Ovid. Pretty amazing. 2 of the most powerful women's basketball programs in all of Section 5 are within 6 miles. Romulus and Ovid. It's amazing.
And really statewide,
Pretty scary.
In southern Seneca County.
Pretty amazing. And that's a tribute to the South Seneca folks and all the people out there that may be checking us out today, starting them young, making them work hard. And
Saturday morning, my daughter had a 5th and 6th girls travel game in Interlaken at the middle school in Interlaken. And they won. We won. Seneca Falls won the game, but you can just tell that these kids, they have a big participation in their youth program, and some nice little players. It's going to be something that they're able to sustain.
Exactly. Well, let's get Jimmy to switch the tune. We talked to sectionals. Let's talk a little bit about the NCAAs. Of course, that's the road to the Final Four, as Jim Nantz likes to say. And, of course, Jim being an SU grad and a lot of SU supporters around the county and around the, obviously, New York State, phenomenal. Phenomenal crowd at the Duke-Syracuse game. I mean, the ending was phenomenal. Banking that shot with no time remaining just ignited the entire Syracuse district. The fans came storming on the court. You can't blame them. They were thrilled. As I look at the NCAAs, Jim, Syracuse appears to be somewhat of a lock to get in, but you never say never. And, I think the Georgia Tech game obviously is what, on Saturday? Georgia Tech?
Off the top of my head, I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday.
Okay. But if they were to lose at the Dome, they might be in trouble. If they were to lose to Georgia Tech at home.
I would think so. I mean, I don't understand. Anybody can say they're in. They've had some horrible losses.
Oh, yeah.
The one saving grace is their ACC record puts them at the top half of the league.
Right.
So it's tough to say that if you're in the top half of the
You should
toughest
go.
league in the country.
Oh.
But, yeah, if they lose to Georgia Tech
That could hurt them.
and then lose in the ACC tournament,
That could hurt them.
I could see how they'd be out, and I won't feel, even if they beat Georgia Tech and lose in the first round of the ACC, I won't feel comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable last year either, and luckily they got in. They went all the way to the Final Four.
That was amazing last year because everybody who was anybody thought they weren't going to get in. And the word got out prior to them flipping over the
Man,
the
made
cards.
it a little easy.
Yeah, that they got in. And that was kind of scary because everybody was subjecting themselves to the fact that the Orange won't make it. And then somebody slipped. I don't know how it happened, but somebody slipped and found out.
Brackets got released early. Leaked brackets.
Were they a 10th seed?
Yeah, they were a 10 seed. They went all the way to the Final
Right.
Four.
And that was kind of funny. And all of a sudden, Syracuse gets turned over as a 10th seed, and everybody kind of knew it beforehand, which relieved the heart pressure of Jim Boeheim and his administrative and all the people that follow SU basketball.
Still, though, at that time, great, they were in. That's fun because you're going to be able to fill out the brackets, and they're involved in the first weekend. You're going to be, but nobody thought in a million years.
Oh, God, no.
Like,
What a
even
run.
I see things through orange-colored glasses, but I was like, well, it's great they're in. Maybe they can win a game, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, another part of me was once you're in it, to win it. But that run they went on was amazing. It's funny how this team seems similar to that team in the fact that they never seem out of the game, and they just have won so many games in ridiculously dramatic fashion. I don't know if you can sustain that over a 4 or 5 game stretch, though, that would be needed to get back to the Final Four. But they certainly have enough talent to do it.
Do you look at Carolina and Kentucky, a couple of teams we mention every single year, as favorites to win the title? You think they're the two top teams really going in? Carolina and Kentucky?
Yeah, and Carolina just beat Louisville pretty handily. Otherwise, I might throw Louisville in that mix too, just because I think Pitino's a great postseason coach.
Right.
But yeah, I hope that all three of those teams don't make it. I'm just kind of sick of them.
Yeah. Seems like every year, isn't it? Carolina, Kentucky. I mean, going in, they're always the favorites,
Another thing about Carolina that I don't mind as much as Kentucky is they don't have as many ones and dones, but like that Kentucky team, it's just a new roster every single year, and it's just not fun, which is one of the reasons that thank goodness for high school basketball, because I love basketball so much, and since we've moved to the ACC and since the whole landscape of college basketball has really turned into getting those one and done players, and you never really get to know anybody, and it's tough to follow all the teams across the country. But high school basketball, the kids stay, they don't go pro.
Exactly.
So if you get a kid who comes up to varsity as a sophomore, he's going to, you're going to see him for the next 3 years.
Exactly. We're going to take our commercial break, come back, and we're going to talk about Pat Perez taking some shots at Tiger Woods. What's up with that? And he goes on his own Sirius TV program or podcast, like I do here, and he rips on Tiger and makes some ridiculous remarks. I'm not a big Tiger fan, as you all know. We'll talk about the effect of that and get Jim's opinion on it. We'll come back after these great commercial breaks. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls.
Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams and Wadhams Enterprises, your local employer of choice. Proud supporter of Weber This Week and local athletics. Fill out an application at wadhams.com. The Gould Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. Del Lago Resort and Casino will feature a luxurious 205-room hotel, several restaurants ranging from casual to fine dining, and a 2,500 capacity entertainment venue called The Vine. The casino will have 2,000 slot machines, 75 table games, and 10 poker tables. Visit www.dellagoresort.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. The Seneca Falls Country Club, awesome 18-hole layout, open to the public, and a 12-month payment plan for members. Check out SenecaFallsCountryClub.com. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Rich Rickey and Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week.
We're back on a Monday afternoon. Again, this show will continue to be 3 o'clock from here on out. And, you know, I'm working out Del Lago, doing some work on the marketing side of it, entertaining guests as they arrive via bus or via cars. We have a little conference room where a lot of people want to go in and have their crumpets and their coffee before they get to the gaming floor. So I go in and talk to them, get them all pumped up for what the casino is going to bring them. And also,
how do you like that so far?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. It really is. You know, they're probably older than I am. I'll be 72, God willing, in April, as you know, Jim. Same day as Samantha. But I certainly I like it. It's just you get a different group. And the funny part of doing the job is there are some bus lines that come in that we call them line buses, not charters. We have a lot of charters next month. The line buses, some of the same people you see coming in, you know. And they don't want to hear the spiel because they already heard the spiel.
Right. They want to get in there.
But you got to tell them, the other people that haven't heard it. So it's great. And by the way, folks, if you want to take your loved one for a special occasion, I'd recommend Portico, the new high-end restaurant out of Del Lago. My wife Mary and myself went last night, had a wonderful meal. Definitely get a reservation. I don't even think you should try to go in there during the week without one. I would definitely stop there, go to the Portico, make a reservation, or go online and you can go to Open Table. They'll tell you the times that are available. It's a little pricey, but man, oh man, it was good. We had the Kobe meatball to die for. You can have two of you eating that as an appetizer. It's huge, as Billy Facilla would say. Also, I had a 6-bone pork chop. Thing was fabulous. I should never have ordered a salad. Mary had the filet mignon. She brought half at home. Fabulous. Just outstanding. Service was impeccable. So definitely recommend checking out and going there for special occasions. Unless you're a multimillionaire, you're not going to be going there every night. But certainly it's a high end and costs you some money to go there. But I recommend it for special occasions. But don't go without a reservation because I don't want you to be waiting for an hour and a half to get a table. It's how busy it is out there for that restaurant. A lot of people are going out to the casino, as you all know. I'm not telling you something. It's a secret. I mean, we just had Saturdays. If you want to come to the casino on Saturday, bring a helmet because it is extremely busy. Jim's been out there. It is unbelievable. the crowds that are drawn on a Saturday. The busiest day of the week. And by the way, speaking of busy, this Friday night, I was hoping to go, but unfortunately we have a schedule problem. Boyz II Men are performing.
Yeah.
They got some great medleys. That's my kind of music, the slower, soft, lovable songs that I would have wanted to watch.
Boyz II Men, your kind of music?
I like that music. Well, they play some medleys, some soft medleys.
They do some a cappella stuff.
Yeah, they do. I like that. Yeah. And I was looking forward to go, but we had to not take advantage of that. That's Friday night. So if you're going out Friday for some casino playing, be leery. There's going to be the Boyz II Men appearing. I think it's 8 o'clock at night they come on. But we
were out there when Bad Company played, and we were out there when Flo Rida played. We went to the Bad Company concert.
Right.
And, it's any weekend night out there has just been jam-packed. But
crazy.
It's just because the concert's going on, you can't even tell there's a concert going on.
I know.
If you're out on the casino floor.
Nope. And by the way, Jim is the nerd of all nerds when it comes to computer and tech stuff. When he gave the compliment, which I passed on to the vice president of entertainment, Jason, that in Jim's mind, and he was there to watch the Bad Company, he said it was the best, best acoustics, best sound.
Acoustically
amazing.
In that room.
Amazing.
And the sight lines and the
phenomenal.
The lighting, the special effects, the lighting. And
amazing.
It was all really good. Really one of the best places that I've ever seen a live
show. I passed your comments on to Jason, and he appreciated it, by the way. I said, this guy's a techie, Jim is, and if he thinks it's great, it's great. And there's, by the way, if you go to the Vine for entertainment, if you want to go get tickets for Boyz II Men, I think there's some tickets left. There's not a bad seat in the house.
No.
Not a bad seat in the house. A couple of mezzanines. You can go upstairs. The third floor is reserved for the VIPs, so you got to be a high roller to get in there. But certainly, it's really a great place to watch entertainment. Go to Del Lago Resort and Casino.com. Click on entertainment under the Vine. It'll tell you all the upcoming acts. A lot of acts that are scheduled that have been booked. So get the tickets. They're ranging anywhere from $35 to $65 a piece, depending on what concert you want up here. We checked out Larry and the Cable Guy. We had a great time. He's been around forever. He's still funny. He is still brutally funny. So we enjoyed that night. We were sitting in the orchestra seats down below. We had 8 rows to the stage. But it was great. So I recommend taking part in some of the Del Lago opportunities out there. By the way, if you want to come on the Weber Show, we are booking right now in the late March. I think we have the 27th available. If you're interested in coming on the show to talk about your favorite topic, let us know through Jim or myself, and we'll book you for an appearance on this program. So again, people always ask me, how do I get on the show? Just call up Jim or get a hold of me and tell me your topic, what you want to discuss, and we'll bring you in and get you on the Weber Show. Keep in mind, it's no longer 9:30. It's now going to be continuous here at 3 o'clock, and I hope to be here most every week. If something happens and I get tied up out there, Jim's nice enough to fill in and keep the show rolling. Jim, I was going to end my show today by talking about the golf world. I found it interesting. Things like this kind of interest me. You all know Tiger Woods is at ailment, bad back, 3 surgeries, He'll go down in history if he retires tomorrow as the second greatest player to ever play the game. Hard to say he's number one when Jack has 18 majors, Jim, and Tiger has 14. You can dispute that, but I don't know how you can argue the fact that Jack should be considered the best ever. But Tiger has been struggling. We all know about his personal issues and what he did to his poor wife there way back when. And I'm not saying the guy's a hack, but I wonder, though, if he's not ready to toss the towel in. The Genesis tournament out at Riviera was played a couple of weeks ago, and money from that tournament, part of it goes to his foundation, which he does a marvelous job worldwide, helping and producing good players and giving kids an opportunity to play the game. He couldn't even appear for the press conference. Now, this is money, part of it, a certain amount, goes to his foundation. And Pat Perez, who's from San Diego, doesn't say much, got that ugly smirk on his face, and he does a Sirius XM podcast like this show here. He does it out of the San Diego area. And somebody asked him about Woods and his future and what he thought, and he just lambasted him, kind of. And they're good friends, by the way. They're both from that area of the country. And Perez said that if Tiger doesn't tee it up at Augusta in about 5 weeks, he's toast. He's done.
Yeah, I think he's done anyways. D-O-N-E. I've been saying it for over a year. He's done. People want him to come back and win. It's not even close.
I know.
It's not even close.
No.
And furthermore, he withdrew this time because of back spasms. Yeah. Let me give you guys a hint. And you think Pat Perez lambasted Tiger. Yeah. I'm about to lambaste Tiger. He didn't have backs bad. He knows he can't compete, and when things start to turn bad, he quits.
He hits out. Yeah,
he quits.
Yep.
Now I played golf.
Yep.
3 summers ago with a cracked rib. I didn't quit. I'm not on the same level.
No.
But
It hurt.
Yeah. And a lot of guys play through injuries
Yeah.
and just all the different injuries he have. Have you ever seen Tiger quit a golf tournament that he was leading because of an injury?
Never.
It's always when he's about to shoot an 86, right?
You're right.
And I don't know why everybody defends him. He was great at one time.
He was.
The greatest of all time
Yeah.
at the stretch that he was playing.
Yes.
Nobody ever played better.
Exactly.
But for people that think he's going to come back and be that again, it's not even close. And he is not the 500th best player in the world right now. He might not even be in the top 1,000.
Wow. Well, I agree. I don't think he's going to regain his magic, and I think what bothers him too, Jim, is we had to wrap up in a minute, but I think what bothers him too, using you as an example, you're knocking it out there 320, and he's knocking it out there 290, and that 30-yard difference.
Well, I'm not knocking it out there, but these other guys are the young guns.
Let's say you are Dustin Johnson.
Sure, I'd like that.
25, 30 yards ahead of Tiger. He's not used to that.
Right.
He's not used to hitting first.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting. And
not only that.
Yep.
But even given that, when he was, the reason that he was always a great golfer wasn't that he hit it so far, or he was a great ball striker. He obviously had many great shots, but what really separated him, that he had his short game and his putting, and that's gone.
Yeah.
That confidence that you have to putt at the level that he putted at when he was in his prime.
Right.
Once you lose it, you'll never get it back. And he's done.
By the way, we'll finish the bashing of Tiger Woods, and Perez made a good comment, and Jimmy just touched on it as we leave you on a Monday. The cute part is what Jim is saying is right on. He got $1.3 million to appear in Abu Dhabi, $1.3 million for appearance money. They can do that legally on the European tour. $1.3 million. He flies over in a private jet. He gets $1.3 million. Doesn't have to hit a shot yet. Goes out after the first round, shoots a 77. The next morning, he's coming down the steps, holding on his back.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody said, would he have withdrawn with a 67? We all know he wouldn't have.
No, of course not. Of course not.
I just want to know how much of that $1.3 million he got a chance to keep.
But nobody, everybody for some reason is afraid to say it.
I know.
Like the Golf Channel or the media in general will report, well, Tiger had backs. Hopefully he can get back in time for the Masters. No, his back was fine.
Yeah, I know.
It was fine. He quit.
That's right.
He quits.
Okay, we did our bashing. Jim Senecropi, the owner and my partner here on the Weber Show this afternoon. See,
of course, I trade places with Tiger today. So
yeah, I know.
I might be bashing him, but he's doing okay for himself.
Yeah, I think so. All right, folks, this is continuous, 3 o'clock. Join us I hope to be here most Mondays at 3 o'clock to do this show. And again, if I'm not going to be here, Jim, of course, will fill in very capably. So for Jim Senecropi, the dog, wishing you well. Check out our Section 5 coverage unlike anything anywhere. Check it out. Take care, everybody.